gradually you can expand upon that. Now, if it is a product which that the scale of which is going to be huge, and you need to produce it to a number which you do not think that you will have the in-house capacity to produce such a big number. Then, of course, you look for partners, and those partners can be already existent manufacturers in that particular industry, or that particular format, or that particular background in which you think that your product resides. And then one can contact those manufacturers, and there are ways to deal with such partnerships through different partnership agreements, for which I think you at that point where you are going to get into third-party contracts, you need to hire specialists, some consultants or some lawyers who can help you formulate such agreements. Because here, if you make even a small mistake, you are going to lose on so many different fronts, especially, of course, a lot of money is going to go from either from actually the part basically which was supposed to come to you, or your interests are going to be compromised, in better words. Now, the other way can be, the first was that you can set up your own small factory or big factory, you can produce yourself. Second is to get to the, or look out for the partners, those manufacturers who are already in the field, and you you check their reputation, you go visit their facilities, you talk to them, you interview them, and then see that they are the better fit for for producing your product. And then the third could be the licensing. By the way, understand that I'm trying to just touch upon those different options which you will have. I'm not trying to dig deep into them, because I'm supposing that when you will reach such a point, you are going to consult with so many people who are expert in the field, and probably legal experts will be contacted also, because this is the point where you need real experts. I cannot emphasize more on that. And then the third part is, or the third option can be that you simply sell your licensing rights to somebody who will not only manufacture, market, sell, and everything on your behalf, and you are going to get the royalties from the sales, as well as number of products manufactured. That also depends that what kind of licensing agreement was made and how you secured your interest in that. Now, these are three main elements. Now, coming back to the first one, if you are going to have your own factory setup, then of course you are going to take care of rest of the processes also, like how you are going to market, how you are going to sell, and your go-to-market strategy is something which you will be looking upon afterwards. And that is something again for which by then, because now you have already produced a product which is ready to go to the market, so you will have so many people who would like to partner with you. At that point, if you consider that in-house production is your option, it means that you have somehow arranged some resources, and then definitely you are going to hire experts who will be doing your marketing and your sales strategies and their implementation and so on and so forth. So this is probably in a nutshell your implementation part. I would not like to drag into things, nor do I really like doing such things. I would like to invite questions from you straight away. And those questions, as I earlier said, that can be from your previous presentations or can be simply out of nowhere. I mean, I don't mind, but as long as they are related to the overall topics which we are trying to cover during these conversations, I'm happy to answer. Over to you, Manur. Guys, I think.
Thank you, sir. मेरा एक question है.
Okay, Aisha is asking one question. Let me first answer that question and then. Okay, Aisha says that how do we find the investors for our project? See, investors are human beings like me and you, Aisha. And don't think that the people who have earned some money or they have done some years in their life, they have become some aliens or they think differently or they approach life differently. We are all same human beings with different statuses or different levels in life. Now, when you talk about investors, so see, the word investor means a person who is looking to invest money into something which now gets benefit out of that investment. This investor needs something real to be invested in. Now, if you have got a product, if you have got an idea which is real, and you are not trying to fake the reality of it, or create a new reality to make it, look good for the investors. And what are those ideas which are intrinsically attractive to investors? All those ideas which are genuine, and the genuine ideas are normally based upon the needs of the people. When you will tell somebody that this is what I am going to create, if this person is aware of the demography which you are talking about, this person would straight away understand that this is something which is needed by the people, and people are waiting for such inventions or innovations. Okay, sometimes you are pitching the ideas or your products to investors outside the country. Then you have to provide them with the stats which are real, not just taken from the Google search or here and there, but you believe in them and you truly know that these are the facts. And you know that whatever I'm trying to present is based upon the real the problem which you are going to solve. And if you are solving a problem, it means that there are hundreds and thousands of people who are waiting for this innovation to become a product and reach to them. So that actually shows the potentiality of your idea or your product, and that potential is something which investor wants to see. And then, of course, whatever stage you are on, that really does not matter. The second thing which will matter is, number one, the importance. The idea is really genuine, based upon real needs. And the second thing is that you are not a person who is trying to simply see some shows on the TV or somewhere, and then you are trying to mimic everything for somebody to be entrapped and invest in your verbose or your story. You are also a genuine person, and you know that if somebody has to invest money on whatever particular stage you are on, this person has to have some real effort. Number one, seen. And number two, this person wants to see you also very, very committed. Not that you expect investors to invest in you, but at the same time, those investors looking at your life, looking at the trajectory of how you have disciplined your life or reached to a point where you are not this mature person who wants to give benefit and take benefit. And you are not a greedy person at the same time that if your effort is going to be 5%, you want the 95% cut for that. It simply means that if you're genuinely grounded person, everybody would like you. And if you are this fantastic personality which you have developed in your imagination only, and then you are trying to sell this personality or your ideas to people, you are trying to befool them. They are mostly not fools. They have seen life, they have met hundreds and thousands of people, they have done businesses, so they cannot be befooled by you saying and presenting whatever you think is fascinating. So that's it. I mean, investors, they need something genuine as your product and as your idea, and then they want to see you as a genuine person, committed person who wants to go to a certain length to make your dreams a reality. Anything else?
Sir, there is a question regarding how do the market analysis, as we are medical students, we don't know how to get started in that.
Okay. And that's what, see, market analysis, there are two ways. Of course, some literature review has to be done through internet. But you have to be this cunning fellow, a positively cunning fellow, to determine that when the research was done, by whom it was done, because a lot of research or the stats which we find on the internet are based upon speculation, or the sample, the number of sample is very very small, and that small number does not actually represent what that research outcome claims to be. So it is very important for me and you to go number one, find the competitors if they are there in the market, and then I will give you the example that if I am going to build a search engine, that search engine, straight away, it is a common knowledge that what are the best search engines available in the market. Google is there, Yahoo is there, Bing is there, and these are three most, let's say, the biggest ones, or most famous ones, but there are small ones also. Now, whatever product I am going to build, I need to be wise enough to understand that who is my real competitor. Number one is my competitor, or number 30th is my competitor. Most of the times we make a mistake that from day one, Google is our competitor. Google, sir, can be your competitor only if you are from day one, you are putting up effort to create something which is from day one bigger than Google, at least in functionality, at least in whatever productivity Google actually produces for its customers. So one has to be very practical and pragmatic when you approach your product. And then it is very easy for you to analyze and evaluate that who are your real competitors, And then once you know your competitors, then of course it's very easy to formulate some number who can be or who are supposed to be your customers based upon all the practical evaluations you have had for you, your product, and your genuine competitors. So this is again a whole science when it comes to market research, but I'm trying to touch upon the surface only. If there are supplementary questions, then I will try to dig deeper also.
So there's another question: how to bring innovation and entrepreneurship in healthcare? Can you give some examples?
I think, you see, innovation is not something which is peculiar to some field. Innovation is something which is inherently built in humans. But what happens is, for so many reasons, like our culture, upbringing, our education, what kind of parenting we had, and what kind of mentors we had or we have. This is triggered in a certain individual. Now, talking about the students or the academia in health sector, I think doctors especially, they are the ones who are the most brilliant among the students, and this is the reason that they reach to a merit which normally medical universities and colleges they put up for them. So these are very select few people and very wise people who reach to a point where they get admitted into some college or university related to health. It means that their brain is functioning better than usual. They have had the background education in a way that it is somehow gone into them. The only thing they need to understand is that if they somehow imbibe some kind of real care for the human beings, because the moment, and it is anyhow necessary for health professionals especially to have this sentiment or this connection with human beings and your surroundings to deliver what they are actually longing to deliver. Now, if a doctor because I think we are talking about students mainly, if a student who's going to become a doctor is more concerned than usual, what will happen is that they would like to investigate all those problems which are present in our healthcare, in our system now, as they are usually taken to hospitals to inspect and be part of so many medical processes. So if they are somehow concerned enough about the well-being of the people, what will happen is naturally they would think about those measures which they can take beyond their ordinary job. And this is where innovation actually jumps in, that they would like to innovate in whatever way they are going to perform their duties, and they would like to innovate in things or the equipment or the solutions which are being provided to the patients. And if they are promoted or they are supported and somehow they are ignited against such qualities through their mentoring and their teachers, they inculcate or they try to evoke these these qualities in them during their study days, I hope that and they get connected and they become more concerned about the well-being of the people, and then they are taken to, or they are shown the way that this is just one way where most of the people, they are not attending to, and because this is the hardest part. And it is not usual part, it is the most special part, and it is a difficult route for a medical student or a doctor to take, but this is where the long term health benefits they reside, and the overall impact, the benefit, being the nation or being a country, is hiding there only, and probably you can be someone who can go and fetch that benefit for you, for the community, and for the country. Yes, it is a difficult route, but so many people, they have treaded this route, and so many people, they have brought this benefit to themselves, their institutions, and their countrymen. Now I think even this exercise which we are being part of is being done to do the same, that somehow you guys who are into the health sector, you get to think and understand little differently than the usual breed of healthcare providers. So this could be, I think, just the beginning of era where our healthcare providers or students and doctors, they turn their attention towards something which is apparently not very beneficial, but in long term, it is way beyond normal. It is way beyond healthy in providing you benefits which can be monetary benefits, the fame, name, and whatever way you want to put it. I mean, in every fashion and way, it is way highly beneficial than any usual healthcare provider providing those services in whatever way you do. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Sir, we have 2-3 more questions. One is,
Sure.
is there any software to analyze the data for product hunting?
No, I don't think so that I know of any such softwares. There may be, there may not be. But I think it is relative to what we are talking about, because there can be so many different products or projects where there can be so many software solutions available, and there can be some products where probably in some special reference you don't find no softwares. But one thing is there, which is in general, I think me, you, and everybody else knows that with the rise of artificial intelligence, now things are becoming very, very easy for anybody to research or get into the details of, or the complexities of. I think so many AI tools are being developed for every field. So there may be some special AI tools available for the products or projects which you are going to be involved in or you are currently involved in, but that has to be seen with reference to what product or project we are talking about. But in general, I think tools like Bard and ChatGPT are generically there to help you fine-tune your analysis and your data. And especially, generally we use ChatGPT 3.5, which is freely available. but 4 is also there, for which you have to pay, but it does a lot of miraculous things for anybody coming from any field or reference. So you can use that. A free version is not something which is fulfilling your requirements. And I think then there are some special tools also. If whoever is asking this question, if you want to analyze, or if you want to dig deeper into your particular product or project, then you can personally reach to me, and then probably I can personally advise you on that.
Okay, is there a website or journal for innovation projects where we can do literature review?
No, I don't think so. Because if there are websites, I have never been into those websites, or if I have been to those websites, I don't remember right now. But what I'm trying to tell here is very easy. For your literature review, in old days, things were very difficult. Now, if you simply open up one AI tool, as I mentioned, ChatGPT or Bard, or their free version, if it is okay for you, or their paid versions, if it is not okay for you, you can actually do any type of literature review. And in literature reviews, because you have to read a lot of articles also, a lot of papers also, now AI provides you with the functionality, like ChatGPT 4 actually provides you the functionality where it has access to all the internet. You can provide references, or you can simply ask ChatGPT that these kind of papers I want you to go review, check, and then whatever your questions are, you can ask for the answers. If there are some websites, there may be, but I really do not know that I can recommend you any which are available for anybody and everybody. No, I don't know.
What support is available to innovators in Pakistan?
It's ironic that there are so many bodies, and there are so many organizations and institutions which are claiming to provide you with the help and support you need through this journey. And I am being realistic, because I do not think that providing you something fanciful or attractive is going to do this job. It is a difficult journey, but it's a wonderful journey. It gives you all the ways you can think of to become resilient towards life, and the outcomes are so many and in versatile in their nature, that I would recommend that everybody should be doing some kind of innovation in their life, whatever way possible. Now, those institutions which are claiming to be providing you with whatever support they claim, you may get that support, or mostly you don't get that support. Now, this may, if I translate into some kind of percentage, this may translate into some 10-15%. Now, 10-15% of the times, depending upon what kind of project and what level you are on in doing that project, they may support you, or they may not support you 85% of the times. But I would tell you that whatever support is available, that support is slowly and gradually increasing. And because these institutions and these people who are working there, slowly and gradually, they are also realizing that what are the mistakes which they have been making and how to improvise on their jobs. It means that every day passing, your chances to get some kind of support. Sometimes people like me who would like to support you, but they would not find the legal means to support you, will go out of the way personally to give you some kind of support to take you through your journey and whatever you are stuck in. It all depends on your own faith, your own hankering after things, your own demand and your own need, and then how perfectly you have somehow jot down the fanciful idea which you have. Fanciful is the wrong word, I would say the real idea you have, and then how it is presented to others. And when I talk about presentations, the only way I think the presentations would work is that whatever is in your heart is on your tongue, and that is the most effective way to present people with whatever thoughts you have, whatever ideas you have, whatever products and projects you have in your mind, and never be afraid that by telling people the real scenarios truthfully is going to somehow damage your case. It is vice versa. It actually gets into people's hearts, and you are connected. You are connected to them on a frequency or on a level in which normally there is no resistance. When you are talking truthfully and you're presenting anything and everything in the most truthful manner and most plain and simple manner, it gets to people very quickly, and it sits with them, and they tend to agree with you, they tend to attach with you, and they tend to support you in that. Manur.
Okay, I think almost all the questions have been answered. So thank you so much, sir. The way you have explained each and everything, it's highly appreciated. We are really looking forward to hear your valuable insights in the future as well. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much, Manur, Dr. Asif, Ravalian community, RMU, and all the listeners out there. I am available in whatever way I can extend my support to research and development in Pakistan, and especially in health sector. I am no big deal, but in whatever capacity I find myself, extending this support, I always do that. So once again, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
So we now move forward to our second speaker of the session, who will be telling us about how to commercialize our innovation project. Mr. Adnan Siddiqui, CEO of EZ Shifa. It's a startup aiming to make quality healthcare accessible and affordable for all using technology. He is the founder and board member of Rast Foundation in Karachi. He has done his mechanical engineering BS from NAD University of Engineering and Technology and MS from Oklahoma State University. Sir, we are very pleased to have you with us. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, Sir Adnan. I hope, yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Please continue, sir.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Can I get to display my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir. You can display, sir. Please share the screen, sir.
Okay, let's see. So we just, where's the option to display? Search audio. Save.
So there's an option in the middle, share screen. There's an arrow on the green screen, is a green label.
I think you have to make me the host first. So actually, I have logged in from the phone and my tablet. So I need you to give me access to the tablet or the. Dr. Asif, can I
Yes, sir.
get to share my screen?
So just
Mm-hmm.
so you have option here in the green zone. There's a toolbar. There's a green zone, green light, share screen with an arrow above.
Not on my screen.
So you're
You have,
co-host. Sir.
you have to make me a co-host first.
Yes, yes, sir. You are co-host as well.
Sir, if you are unable to share the screen, you can send the presentation to us.
Okay. Do that. So I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect real quick. And my apologies for all the mess up. Good.
So I have shared the number. You can send the presentation to me or Mahanur Junaid. We can share from here as well.
Dr. Sam, did you get it?
Yes, sir. I have received your representation. I'm just putting it on.
Thank you very much.
So, um, sir, is it visualable?
I see your file downloads, but not the PowerPoint.
Okay, sir. Now, is it fine, sir?
Yes. Can you go
Right.
into the presentation mode? Thank
I will
you.
continuing the presentation, sir.
And once again, my apologies for
Sir, it's okay. No issue, sir. So you are
wasting your
here.
precious
So
10
we are
minutes.
very glad, and we are happy to have you here with us, sir.
Thank
It's
you very
wonderful.
much. So
Sir.
I do want to congratulate RMU, Dr. Umar, his team, Dr. Asif, Dr. Wajiha. I mean, you guys are a phenomenal team. You guys done a great job. I think people like you are going to change the country. So my topic was implementation, commercialization. So I improvised a little bit and I called it the product identification, development, deployment, and commercialization. So this is basically a process, right? First, you have to identify the problem, develop a product, do the deployment pilot, and then commercialize it. If you go to the next page, so I'm going to go to that in a little longer route. That'll give you some examples of how things are done, and we can use that as an example, and then just make it generalize it, and then start going to the product development process. So when we talk about the healthcare in Pakistan, right, it's a huge problem. 150 million people don't have access to healthcare. Another number that's being floated around is about 100 million people in Pakistan go through major financial stress because of the medical bills, which is a huge drain on the country, economically, socially, and all the several other ways. So Easy Shifa came into being and with the vision that we want to make quality healthcare accessible and affordable for all. That's our mission. So we identified a problem, and then we came up with a vision what we want to do to elevate that problem. Another issue that's been bubbling is Pakistan is one of the leading contender in infant mortality and childbirth related complications and deaths. That's another problem that we are tackling, and everything is going to be solved through technology. That's what we believe. If you go to the next slide, please. So when we dig deeper into the issue, what we found out, affordability is a problem, accessibility is another problem, and then quality of care is another problem. And when it comes to affordability, about average salary in Pakistan is about $25,000. And a trip to the primary care may cost you from 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. So people are very hesitant. They try to find different ways to access healthcare, but it's really not in their reach. Second problem we have is the geographical location. People live in far-flung areas. They don't have access to proper healthcare. And the last but not the least, right? Quality is an issue. But not in Pakistan, but in States. I have the number, about 186,000 deaths each year from medical mistakes. That's a phenomenal number for a population of 350 million people. Pakistan, maybe don't have the data. I am sure the numbers are not very attractive in Pakistan also. So three opportunities: cost, access, and quality. Our vision is using the technology. If I can take the cost out of healthcare, that will solve majority of the problem. The opportunity that we have is healthcare is unnecessarily expensive. It does not have to be that expensive. And we can argue for days and nights why that is, but the fact remains, healthcare is just unnecessarily expensive. And there are ways to cut it down using the technology. We can cut it down, and I'll cite a few examples how that can be done. If you go to the next slide, please. Okay. So what we're doing is we think the technology is going to come to the rescue, and using the technology, we are going to remove all the potential barriers that we see today. And using the same thing, we can make it affordable. Now, one thing that comes about is there are lots of people working on healthcare in terms of charity. One of the nonprofit organizations that I talk with, they have served 9 million patients in 15 years, which is a great number, phenomenal. They're doing a very good job. They're very well recognized in the country. Unfortunately, 9 million patients in 15 years is not even a drop in the bucket. Just the back of the envelope calculations show us we have 2 million appointments a day. Now, somebody doing 9 million in 15 years doesn't move the needle. So we need to come up with answers which are scalable, affordable, and then of course, self-sustaining. And sustaining part, I can tell you, we are looking at all the great organizations working in Pakistan doing charity work. Charity is not going to solve the problem. It is not. It has to be a self-sustaining model. So we are working on that part. We are empowering the community. An eventual goal for us is to get to universal healthcare. And once we do that, that will turn the country around. Nations first, they become healthy before they become wealthy. So it's very, very important for us to solve this problem. And as I said earlier, right, there are 100 million people in Pakistan, they go through major financial stress. if that money that from this 100 million people was being distributed evenly in the country, we probably would not have worried about it. But unfortunately, this 100 million people are giving this money, which is going to top 1 or 2% of the people. And that's causing that's a huge anchor in economic barrier in the country. If we take this anchor out, we don't need any more economic stimulus in the country. We will grow on our own at a much rapid pace. So there is a lot riding as far as the Pakistan is concerned or humanity is concerned in solving the healthcare problem using technology. Next slide, please. Let's have the next slide. So you have to click one more time. So I'm sorry, I was going to do that myself. So what we have done is we have come up with the whole ecosystem. So the first one, what we have done is we came up with the app, which everybody else, there are 15 other partners in the country doing the same thing. They're making the app. The problem with the app is it's only helping people, those who have access to smartphones or internet. We can argue all day long if this is 15%, 20%, 30%. Doesn't matter what the number is. There's a huge population down below, 40, 50, 60%, those who don't have access to internet or a smartphone, and technology is not giving them any benefit. So that's why what we did was we created an easy clinic, a digital clinic. We bundled all the technology and we took it to the people. We shifted the paradigm. Instead of people coming to healthcare, we are taking healthcare to them. So this was the second answer. Then the third one is as we said, the pregnancy management. We came up with a digital clinic that is designed only for pregnancy management. Then we came up with the Easy Diag, a diagnostic system we are developing that is going to be focused on non-invasive diagnostics. As soon as you go towards non-invasive diagnostics, what happens is there is no operational cost. There's a huge capital investment at the front end to develop the product, but once you have it, there is no operational cost. If there is no operational cost, one example that I can give you is, if I could, what with that we are doing right now, we can calculate the blood sugar with your video. Now, anybody who is diabetic, they're spending 3,000 rupees to 4,000 rupees per month poking themselves to get the blood sugar in the morning, afternoon, and evening. By using our technology, they don't have to poke themselves, number one, convenience. Number two is just making a video, they can get their the sugar. And we are charging only 100 rupees a month. So from 3,000 rupees to 100 rupees a month, there's a huge jump on the leap. This is the type of stuff that we need to do to reduce the cost. So another thing that we came up with is easy screening. Right now, and we will discuss this in more detail, the easy screening, the students, those who are in a school, they don't have any way to find out their medical issues. So we came up with this plan for easy screening, and we're installing the digital clinics in schools, and we want to medically screen all the students in school. Then there is another program for easy travel. Psychology is another issue that we have in the country. Different people are coming up with different number, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% of the population, and post-COVID that's a bigger problem. And we are trying to address that problem with that issue. If you click couple of more times, Dr. we will see easy pharmacy, easy labs, and then we have the insights. I think the insights itself is going to be a huge game changer. Say, for instance, we have 1,000 clinics, 50 patients coming per day. And so that's a huge data that we are getting, all electronic, all clean, all sanitized. The analytics that we will come up with is going to be a game changer for the pharmaceutical industry, for the government, for the private sector, and everybody else. So this is the whole slew ecosystem that we have developed so far. and then we can talk about this. These are the three different digital clinics. One is for primary care on the left. The one in the middle is for pregnancy management. On the right is for disaster recovery. And in the interest of time, I'm going to speed up a little bit. So in the following slides, we will just go through that quickly, Dr. Saab. The next one is Easy app. We just talked about it, that anybody at home, they can just hit the button, and for 100 to 200 rupees, they can access to the doctor. And a mom with 3 kids, the one of the kids is sick, instead of packing everybody up, putting them in a car, taking it to the doctor, getting all the other germs as well, they can get all the service at home. It's a huge benefit for them. The next one is then the digital clinic. Once they get to the clinic, they can get all the vitals taken. We are also coming up with rapid testing. We can test them for hypertension, ECG, their HIV, diabetes, TB. We can also do the malaria and dengue as well. So we have several parameters that we can offer at the digital clinic. Next one. So the next one is HAVA, pregnancy management. This unit normally comes with ultrasound. So people, those who have to travel for hours to get to ultrasound and have to pay, 900 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees, we are offering ultrasound for 300 rupees almost at their doorsteps. So once they get the information, a lot of complications can be avoided. All the cesareans, the rush to the ER can be avoided. And we think this is going to be a game changer once we have 10 to 15,000 of these units across the country. The next place. Easy screening. As I said, the kids, they have no way of accessing to medical services. The blood, they don't know if their eyesight is bad, they're colorblind, they have dyslexia, hearing problem, whatnot. We just offered a proposal to the Balochistan government that we can screen all their 800,000 kids registered in their schools. What my problem right now is that I'm facing is there are 2.7 million kids in Balochistan. Only 800 are in the school. Even if you can screen those 800,000 kids, I'm still missing out 1.9 million kids in Balochistan. So I've been racking my brain for almost a month. How do I access those 1.9 million kids, those who are not in the school, using the technology? I'm pretty sure in a month or so, we will have some creative answers, and we'll be working on that part. The next screen. Easy Diag, we just talked about that with the video. We can get your blood pressure, temperature, heart rate, oxygen level. But the concept behind this is all the non-invasive diagnostics we should be able to integrate into our system. And that will make it more accessible and affordable for most of the people, most of the places. Next, please. Easy counseling, mental health. One more thing we are offering here is, because of the stigma associated with it, we are offering, if somebody wants to have an anonymous consultation, we can offer that as well, from the comfort of their home or privacy of their preference, whatever makes them comfortable. I think giving them access to counseling is the key, and it's very, very important for us. Next part. Easy travel. This is just for people, actually more attractive for people, those who are going for Umrah and Hajj. We are offering this service. Once you're over there, if something happens, you just hit the button. You don't have to waste half a day, go to the clinic and whatnot. Wherever you are at, you can get the consultation, plus we will deliver the medication. And this service we provide right now in Pakistan, we will be able to provide in UAE, Saudi Arabia, and African countries. Next, please. So our vision is that we will have digital clinics, say 25, 30 of those. In the middle of that, there's going to be an emergency center, and cluster of the emergency center and digital clinics. In the center of that is going to be a full service hospital. And these clusters across the country will, once we have that by 2030, 50,000 clinics, we will be in a very good position to offer universal healthcare in Pakistan, which is going to be a game changer, an example that will leapfrog us on the global stage in terms of healthcare. So we are kind of plowing the path for the rest of the world. So you will be very proud of Easy Shifa in next 5 to 10 years when we'll set the stage and show the world how this should be done. And an opportunity has been created for us by the medical industry by making things extremely exorbitant. I mean, extremely expensive. We just, and that's an opportunity we are capitalizing on. Next, please. Now, this is the topic that we were talking about today. What we are doing when it comes to healthcare, we want to have, we are developing devices in Pakistan. For example, Abhi jo hai, Pakistan is the 3rd largest importer of oximeter in the world. We can make those oximeter in Pakistan very easily. That'll save us the foreign exchange. That'll save us, reduce the cost, make it more accessible to everybody. One of the things that we came up with is, since we are the 3rd largest importer in oximeter, so anybody who has oximeter, probably they will also have a blood pressure monitor and also a thermometer. And so what we are doing is we are combining all 3 into one device and designing here in Pakistan. We're going to manufacture it here in Pakistan. So the cost of the product is going to be 1/3 of the 3 products. We can add a glucometer into the same thing. We can add the weight scale into this and make a combined product. Now, so this is just an example. On the same basis, we are getting ready to build ultrasound, ECG, digital stethoscope. And the way we are approaching this thing is we are partnering with several engineering universities, Keats, PF in Karachi. NID University has 2 parts in it. NID has the engineering part, electronics, and the biomedical section. And all of these, the final year students, those who have projects, we are working with them, identifying the opportunities, giving them the problem, helping them solve the problem, and this will become their startup. And we will mentor them to define the product. And once it's done, by the time they graduate, MVP will be done. We will take the same product. Easy Shifa will be the first buyer or the customer for that. And then we will go help them market the product locally and internationally. So by virtue of this, I foresee that at least 20, 25 startups in next 3 to 5 years coming out of this thing. And that will set the stage for biomedical devices industry in Pakistan. And once we have 10 devices being made in Pakistan, 10 to 50 is not going to be a problem. And then we will be the cutting edge. And this model is really not unique. This is no brain, this is not a stroke of genius. Japan has done this, Taiwan has done this, Korea has done this. We are just following their footsteps. Nothing unique about this. There is no magical thinking. We just need to be determined. We just need to be persistent, come up with a local strategy, and we can accomplish that. Not an issue. So this is going to be a game changer. And this, I think, what you see in all the examples that we talked about, right? We are identifying problems, coming up with a product, developing a product, launching a product, and commercializing it. So this is happening consistently. If you go to the next slide. So the first one is the identification of problem. So this is the crux of today's discussion, right? First, you have to identify a problem. Okay, what is the problem? Good part is everybody has an idea. It's the easiest thing to do to identify a problem. But finding a real problem which makes sense with some sort of a semblance of a solution, that's the most difficult part. And it comes after lots of experience. I mean, I personally, how many failures I have had before I'm at a point where I have some idea how this works. By no means I'm claiming I'm an expert, but I think I have some idea how this works. The good part about this thing is the bigger problem you identify, most of the times that big is the opportunity, both emotionally, financially, for the country, for humanity, each one of those. Just say we're talking about the healthcare, digital healthcare, right? Or just healthcare in general. We are coming up with technological solutions. In Pakistan, I said 150 million people don't have access to healthcare. Globally, 1/3 of the global population don't have access to proper healthcare, right? So that's a huge opportunity, huge opportunity. And that's, if we solve it, even 1/10 of it, I mean, it's a game changer for countries and millions and millions of people. Now, once you have identified the problem, converting that into a product, that is an art. There's no magical thing about it. You have to go through this. I mean, I've been doing this for 40 years, for 20 some plus years with HP, number of years with Amazon. We had this daily battles. What features to go in, what features to mature, what features to drop. And that there's no shortcut to that. You have to do this many a times before you get there. You fail 80% of the times, then you succeed, and then you realize how the process works. One of the problems that I'm seeing here in Pakistan, there are tons of people, young people, they're very energetic, very excited. They want to do a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have any role models to follow. They have role models in real estate, and they have models in politics. I wouldn't call them role models, but let's say for the sake of discussion that they're role models for them, for somebody. And other disciplines, but not in technology and innovation and product development. Most of the people like me, we are overseas, we are living abroad, and the communication is difficult. So, but unless we come back here, start the process, I am getting very, very good response from the market, from the academia. I hate to say, but I think there are the very positive response from bureaucracy and everybody else. So I am very optimistic that in next 3 to 5 years, you will see a significant shift in that space. Once you have defined the problem, once you have sort of developed the product, and when I say develop the product, just proof of concept, from the proof of concept to MVP. Once you have and I can tell you between those two, between the proof of concept to MVP, you have to make hundreds of decisions, what to keep, what to take out, how to modify, who to hire, who to fire, who to work with, who not to work with. It's a very, very tedious, intricate, complicated process that you have to go through, and you pretty much have to be a master of the art to maneuver these difficult waters. Now, this is one of the reasons when we see 90% of the startups fail. And we are working on building an infrastructure in such a way that most of the startups should not fail. And while we are developing the products, we are developing the industry, bringing the change, we are also trying to build an infrastructure so the startups get all the help and support that they need at the right time. Just a handshake at the right time can make a difference between success and failure. And we are trying to build an ecosystem that's going to change the whole plan. So once you have developed the product, MVP is done, then you have to pilot it. Now, the problem is from the beginning to this point, let's say it took you a year and a half, maybe 2 years, you need a different skill set of people. Those people know how to develop the product, refine the product, and da. Now taking that product and deploying it, like in our case, developing the software for teleconsultation, then the digital clinic, all that was fine and dandy. But once we install the first unit, there's a huge amount of learning that goes through as soon as you deploy it, 2 to 3 months. Now you have to shift gears. You have to solve operational issues in a very short time before your reputation get ruined and you run out of money, and your product goes out. So you need to identify those operational issues, solve them, and go back to the market. This has to be, now this is a totally game changer. What you were doing before for the last year and a half, and in the pilot, it's a totally different ball game, different set of skills. I mean, I did this for about 20 some years with Hewlett Packard and other companies. So I can see the need, what I need at the earlier end and what we need during deployment, what skill sets we need. And if you know that, then it's much easier. Unfortunately, we don't have the people in the country, those who have done that sort of stuff, and it becomes difficult. So they have to learn those things on the fly, and so they make more mistakes than an experienced person would, and that's what's causing the problem. But we are trying to fix that problem. So once you have done the pilot, then commercializing. So now you have done the MOV, you have MVP, and then you have done the deployment, initial deployment, clean the system, clean the processes. Now we are going for the commercialization. That's a totally different ball of wax. How to communicate, how to sell, who to sell. I mean, I can tell you, like in our case, Easy Shifa, we have an extremely good bundle of products. All of these are new products. So when we go to market, people say, well, I don't know what this product is all about. I have never seen this before. Nobody has ever told me about this. So they vet the process, they vet the product. When everything is done, then they look at me and say, who are you? So now Easy Shifa is a new entity in the country. So we are trying to build the credibility towards myself, towards the company, towards the whole concept. That's one of the issues with the innovation, that you have to convince people. But at the same time, if you have people with you, those who are from the country, those who have the credibility in the country, that makes life a whole lot easier. So this is the whole process. This is the challenge. This is the opportunity. Go to the next slide, please. So I think good part is the country is ready. We are about 220, 240 million people we are the 5th or 6th largest, most populated country in the world. We have the base. All we need to do is start coming up with the products, test them in the market, and then take it out and go on the global stage. Our concept of universal health here, this is going to be a game changer. So this is almost a perfect storm for us to change the system, make healthcare available to everybody in the country, and shift the game. So I'm personally very optimistic about the whole process, about the whole thing. It's a great opportunity. I'm thankful to RMU and other institutions, plus the government organizations. There are tons of the accelerator programs in the country. If anybody is interested, I can help you get into that. You can Google it and then find out who those people are, and then just associate yourself. If you are a technologist, please let me know if I can be of any help. And I'm sorry if I ran over my time.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We have a question. Do you think we as medical students can start with our products right now? What skills do we need to acquire to start with our project?
So one thing I did not mention is I have another non-profit organization called the Startup Council. And our mission is to help young people start their own startups. In that accelerator program, the Startup Council, what we ask young people to come and say, this is the problem I'm trying to solve, and show me the reason that you have a passion to solve that problem. I don't need them to be a technologist. I don't need a PowerPoint. I don't need a business plan. I just need a good problem and they need to show that they have a passion to solve that problem. If you have these two things, rest of the things will happen. Whatever skill sets you have today, you will need to learn. I am 67 years old. I am still learning every day. So at any point you think that you have a certain skill set that you need, that'll be obsolete. Don't worry about it. So just be prepared to learn every day and be nimble and then pivot and you'll be fine.
Okay, one more question. How to promote our business idea so that the investor may pay attention?
So I have a news for you. There is more money in the world right now. People are sitting bundle of dollars in their hand, looking for somebody to invest. Now, if you start thinking the day one that you are somebody's going to give you the money, that's a long shot. And I discourage people from taking money earlier on. You need to come up with an idea, talk to people, build resources, convince people to work with you, and build the MVP, take it out to the market, complete the cycle, generate some revenue. Even if you don't generate the revenue, you should be able to deploy your product, somebody use it, and give you the proper response. Okay, hey, this is the greatest thing ever, right? If you do the complete that cycle, I promise you the people will chase you with money, not an issue. So thinking that you're going to get the money and then start, that's backwards. And even if you get the money earlier on, you will end up giving them half your company without much return for that. So money is not the starting point. I think money will come. Don't worry about it. But the opportunity is there. Opportunity is definitely there. You just need to chase it, go after it. More important than that is identify a problem and then solve it, come up with a, even if you don't have the right solution, if the problem is real, you will attempt a few times and you'll find a good solution eventually. Do you think medical students can start with our own products right now? Yes, you can. There are tons of opportunities. And you don't need any more skills. If you are in medical school, you have enough of the skills. I mean, I have loved talking with my doctors. I have 20 about plus doctors. I go talk with them, what the skills that they have, their attention to details, their focus, their dedication, their hard work. That's good enough to get any startup going. How to promote the idea so that they pay attention. I think you asked this question before. Let me repeat this one more time. I don't look at the investors when I have an idea. I just talk to people and say, hey, this is my idea, and I look for their reaction. So for instance, when we came up with this idea about the students screening, right? I talked to a few teachers, I talked to a few parents, I talked to a few students. The reaction I get from them was just phenomenal. And that endorsement was good enough for me to get started. And once you have the product, right now we have we call it the easy screening for students. It's available. We are deploying it. Once we had 20, 30 schools under our belt, then investors will come. Any other question?
I think, sir, all the questions have been answered. Thank you so much for giving such an informative session. Thank you so much for joining us, sir, and taking out some time for this session.
The pleasure was
We're
all
really
mine.
grateful to you.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I feel humbled to be here.
Likewise, sir. So we now move to the third and the last speaker, Dr. Tahir Sharif, who is Senior Advisor of EZ Shifa. He has done his MBBS from Rawalpindi Medical University and is a public health specialist. He has worked as blood transfusion officer at BBH. He has been DMS, then additional medical superintendent in Holy Family Hospital. He has worked in many public health services, in Global Fund TB project, polio control project, etc., etc. And he has been part of many renowned organizations like Red Crescent Society, Association for Rehabilitation of Drug Addicts, and Patient Welfare Society. So he has got great expertise in market analysis, new business development, coaching, research and development, etc., etc. We are really honored to have him. Let's begin the presentation. Sir, over to you.
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. आपने मैं अभी देख रहा था, अभी बात सुन रहा था, अभी माशाल्लाह बहुत ज़बरदस्त आपने ये ऑर्गेनाइज किया है. और मुझे अपना ज़माना पुराना याद आ रहा था असल में. मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है? हेलो
Yes, sir.
जी.
You are audible.
मुझे अपना पुराना ज़माना याद आ रहा था. 1973, 74, 75 का मेडिकल कॉलेज जब शुरू हुआ था यहाँ पे, रावलपिंडी मेडिकल कॉलेज. तो हमारे पास तो मतलब एक लिहाज से कुछ भी नहीं था यहाँ पे. और इवन लाइब्रेरी में कोई एक बुक नहीं थी, कोई कुछ ऐसा कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं थे बिल्कुल ही. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हमने सोशल वर्क, अपनी मदद आप के तहत कुछ यहाँ पे डेवलप किया. वो भी आप कह लें कि एक स्टार्टअप ही था हमारा अपना, स्टूडेंट्स का अपना बनाया हुआ. हमने एक यंग डॉक्टर्स एजुकेशनल सोसाइटी बना के, और उसमें हमने बोन बैंक, बुक बैंक, इस टाइप की चीज़ें शुरू की. और फिर उसके बाद हमने एक सोशल वर्क के तहत ही फिर चलते हुए चैरिटी बेसिस पे वो हमने मेडिकल कैंप्स रूरल एरियाज़ में रावलपिंडी मेडिकल कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स और डॉक्टर्स को मिला के वो शुरू किए. और वो बहुत अप्रिशिएट किए गए. वो फर्स्ट टाइम था कि पिंडी इस रीजन में किसी में भी कोई मेडिकल कैंप्स इस तरह के बनाए. ये बेसिकली एक एफर्ट थी. और यही एक इसी तरह एक स्टार्टअप भी शुरू होते हैं, जैसे कि अभी बताया गया है, डिटेल में सारी बात हुई है. और अब जो सूरत हाल है उसको आप देखें कि हमारे पास कितनी फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल हैं, हमारे पास कितने वसाइल अवेलेबल हैं, कितने रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं. और आज की टीम को मैं देख रहा हूँ, हमारे पास कितने टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट और कितने सीनियर लोग जो इस फील्ड के मौजूद हैं. और जो फ्यूचर में हमें ज़रूरत है, हमारे स्टूडेंट को ज़रूरत है, हमारे मुल्क को ज़रूरत है, और सेहत के शोबे को ज़रूरत है, वो ये सारे मिल के आपस में इस सारे एक सोल्यूशन दे सकते हैं. जैसे अभी अभी मैं अदनान साहब को भी सुन रहा था, उन्होंने जो एक सारी डिटेल में अपनी इसमें बताई है, इनोवेशन कैसे है, उसका आइडिया कैसे है, फिर अप्लाई कैसे होता है. तो स्टूडेंट्स जो है इसमें वही बात है कि जब तक वो एक उनमें एनर्जी नहीं आएगी, वो उसका सोचेंगे नहीं, अपने एक डेडिकेशन नहीं होगी, फिर उसके ऊपर जमे रहेंगे. जैसे बार बार वो अदनान साहब ने यही बताया है कि आप इस पे बहुत सारी मुश्किलात आएंगी, बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे, और आपने उसको सॉल्व भी करना है और आगे चढ़ ले और अपने गोल की तरफ चलते भी रहना है. तो फिर ही आपकी कामयाबी हो सकती है. इस सिलसिले में मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि हमारी जो ये रावेलियन कम्युनिटी अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम आपने शुरू किया हुआ है, डॉक्टर आसिफ मकसूद ने खास तौर पर मेरी इनसे मुलाकात रही है. माशाल्लाह बहुत बहुत ज़बरदस्त तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं. और अब ये अभी 4 दिन का ये जो वेबिनार और ये सारी एक्टिविटी की है इन्होंने, اس سے بہت زیادہ اویئرنیس بھی ہوگی، اسٹوڈنٹس میں بھی ہوگی، اور اسٹوڈنٹس اس چیز کو سیکھیں گے بھی، سوچیں گے بھی، اور اس کو آگے پھر جو ماہرین ہمارے ہیں یہاں پہ ان کے ساتھ مل کے ہم جس طریقے سے بھی ہو سکے گا ہم اس میں ہیلپ کرنے کو تیار ہیں. وہ آگے چلیں گے تو پھر یہ اسٹارٹ اپ بھی بنیں گے اور آئیڈیاز بھی ریفائن ہوں گے، اور اس کی ان کو ایک پتہ بھی چلے گا کون سے آئیڈیاز امپلیمنٹ ہو سکتے ہیں اور کون سے آئیڈیاز آگے اسٹارٹ اپ کے طور پہ چل سکتے ہیں، اور پھر اس کی امپلیمنٹیشن، پھر اس کی مارکیٹنگ اور سارا کچھ وہ کیسے ہو سکتی ہے. وہ ساری چیزوں کے لیے یہ سارے ماہرین آپ کے پاس موجود ہیں. یہ تو ایک بلیسنگ ہے، ایک بہت بڑی بلیسنگ ہے. اور یہ آپ نے جو انہوں نے کام کیا ہے آصف صاحب نے اور باقی ٹیم نے مل کے، یہ بہت اپریشیٹ کرنے والی بات ہے. اس سے پہلے بھی ایک پروگرام میں اس میں ساتھ تھا، جی ایس بینک کے ساتھ مل کے انہوں نے کولیبریشن کے ساتھ ایک زندگی پرائز کمپٹیشن آرگنائز کیا تھا. اس میں بھی بہت اچھے اسٹارٹ اپس اور آئیڈیاز آئے تھے، اور کچھ اس میں ہم انٹرسٹڈ بھی تھے کہ بہت ہی اچھے ہیں اور ان کو آگے چلنا چاہیے، لے کے چلنا چاہیے. لیکن ابھی تک مجھے تھوڑا سا اس میں ہے کہ وہ شاید کچھ ہمارے اسٹوڈنٹس کے پرابلمس بھی آ جاتے ہیں، کبھی چھٹیاں اور کبھی ایگزامز اور کبھی اس طرح کے پرابلمس، تو وہ پھر بریک اپ درمیان میں بریک آنا شروع ہو جاتا ہے. بہت زیادہ بریک نہیں ہونا چاہیے، ورنہ پھر وہ آپ کا وہ ایک جو ایک پروسیس شروع ہوتا ہے وہ ایک خراب ہونا شروع ہو جاتا ہے. اگر آپ اس میں ہمارا طریقہ کار یہ رہا ہے، میں کالج میں ہم وہ مختلف چیزوں پہ ہم سوشل ورک میں کام کرتے رہے ہیں، تو ہمارا یہ طریقہ ہوتا تھا کہ ہم وہ ہر بیچ میں سے، کلاس میں سے، فرسٹ ایئر، سیکنڈ ایئر، تھرڈ ایئر، فورتھ ایئر، ان میں سے اسٹوڈنٹس لے لیا کرتے تھے. 1 2 3 4 مطلب اس میں ہر بیچ میں سے ہوتے تھے، تو کسی کا تو ظاہر ہے وہ ایگزام نہیں ہو رہے ہوتے تھے اور کچھ کو کام کر سکتے تھے، تو وہ پھر یہ پروسیس رکتا نہیں ہے. تو یہ اس کا ایک حل اس طرح بھی ہو سکتا ہے کہ اس کی اپنی ٹیم جو بنائے، اس میں ایک ہی بیچ کے رکھنے کی بجائے اگر آپ ڈفرینٹ اس میں رکھیں گے تو آپ کے لیے آسانی بھی ہو سکتی ہے. یہ اس کا ایک طریقہ ہو سکتا ہے میرے خیال میں. آگے جب وہ ڈسکشن ہو تو اس میں اور بہت ساری چیزیں آ سکتی ہیں. آج کے اس میں آپ کے پاس باجوہ صاحب نے میرا خیال ہے آج پریزنٹ کیا ہے. وہ آپ کے طاہر باجوہ صاحب بہت ایکسپرٹ اور بہت ایکسپیرینسڈ اور انجینئر ہیں اور ٹیکنوکریٹ ہیں، ٹیکنالوجسٹ ہیں. اسی طرح عدنان صاحب آج میں انہوں نے ٹائم دیا. میں ان سب کا خاص طور پہ بہت مشکور ہوں کہ یہ بہت مصروف لوگ ہیں اور انہوں نے اتنا ٹائم اس مقصد کے لیے نکالا ہے. اور میرا چونکہ دونوں طرف سے رابطہ رہتا ہے، میں چونکہ راویلین بھی ہوں تو میرا انٹرسٹ دونوں طرف ہو جاتا ہے، خاص طور پہ راویلین میں پھر بہت زیادہ ہونا چاہیے. اسی لیے ہم کوشش کرتے ہیں کہ ان کو کوشش کریں، موٹیویٹ کریں ادھر سے بھی کہ یہ ہمارے ساتھ آ کے کام کریں اور ہم ان کے ساتھ جا کے مل کے کام کریں، اور ہم درمیان میں تھوڑا ایک کولیبریٹ کرنے کے لیے، میوچل ایک انڈرسٹینڈنگ کریٹ کرنے کے لیے تھوڑا ہیلپ کرتے ہیں ساتھ. تو ہماری اس میں جو بھی ہیلپ ہو سکے گی، میں چونکہ ایزی شفا کے ساتھ تھوڑی شامل ہوں ساتھ اس میں ایز ایڈوائزر کے طور پہ، تو وہ اس طرف سے بھی جو ہیلپ ہو سکے گی وہ ہم کوشش کریں گے کہ جتنا بھی ہو سکے میکسیمم وہ کریں. عدنان صاحب بھی اس میں ابھی آپ کو وہ کہہ کے گئے ہیں کہ ہم تو حاضر ہیں. یہ اب ڈپینڈ کرتا ہے کہ آپ اسٹوڈنٹس پہ کہ وہ کس آئیڈیاز پہ وہ آگے آتے ہیں اور پھر اس پہ اسٹارٹ اپ اپنے وہ شروع کرتے ہیں. یہ والا جو آپ کا یہ پروجیکٹ ہے اور یہ ساری چیزیں ہیں اور یہ جو ایک پروگرام شروع کیا گیا ہے، اس میں ہمارے وی سی صاحب جو ہیں پروفیسر عمر صاحب، ان کا بہت بڑا رول ہے. پروفیسر عمر صاحب اب میرے تو کلاس فیلو بھی ہیں اور وہ بہت انرجیٹک ایک شخصیت ہیں، اور ان کو موٹیویٹ کرنے میں کافی تھوڑا شروع میں ٹائم لگا، اور آہستہ آہستہ اب وہ اس حد تک انہوں نے ڈپارٹمنٹ بھی بنا دیے ہیں ڈفرینٹ، اور بہت زبردست طریقے سے کام وہ کر رہے ہیں اور بڑے ٹیکنیکل طریقے سے آگے پروسیڈ کر رہے ہیں. تو انشاءاللہ یہ ساری ٹیم مل کے ہمارے راویلین اسٹوڈنٹس اور ہمارے جو ٹیچرز ہیں، ہمارے جو ایک ڈی سی صاحب ہیں، ان سب کے ساتھ مل کے یونیورسٹی میں جیسے ابھی ڈپارٹمنٹ بھی ایک بنا ہے، تو یہ ایک بہت اچھے ایک معاملات آگے چلیں گے اور ہمارے لوگوں کے مسائل بڑے طریقے سے مختلف طریقے سے حل ہو سکیں گے. میرے ذہن میں ایک چیز آ رہی تھی کہ شاید ہمارے آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس کی بھی بات بہت ہوتی رہی ہے. ابھی عدنان صاحب نے بھی میرا خیال ہے ذکر کیا اس میں کہ وہ نان انویسو طریقے سے ٹیسٹنگ کا اور وہ باقی چیزوں کا. تو میں اپنے آپ کو سوال تو نہیں کرنا، اسٹوڈنٹس کو سوال کرنا چاہ رہا ہوں آپ لوگ کہ آپ یہ آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس کو کیا سمجھا جاتا ہے، کیا چیز ہے؟ اس پہ بہت کام ہو رہا ہے، بہت ہی آگے کام ہو رہا ہے. بیسیکلی میرا جو ایک آسان لفظوں میں یہ بات کرنا چاہ رہا ہوں کہ میں نے آج مختلف لوگوں سے آج وہ بات ہوئی، میں نے کہا جی آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس ہوتی کیا ہے؟ ہم تو ٹیکنالوجسٹ نہیں ہے نا، ٹیکنیکل لوگ نہیں ہیں، اس سے ہمارا زیادہ اتنا نہیں ہے، آئی ٹی سے اتنا تعلق بھی نہیں ہے. تو وہ ہمارے ذہن میں آتا ہے کہ یہ پتہ نہیں آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس کی یہ ایک نقلی آرٹیفیشل ایک نقلی بات ہوگی نا، اردو میں جو اس کا ترجمہ کریں گے تو انٹیلیجنس مینس انٹیلیجنس ہے، اپنی جو بھی ہم سوچتے ہیں، جو بھی ہم دیکھتے ہیں. تو ایک اس کا پروسیجر اس کا یہ ہوتا ہے کہ ایک ٹیم بیٹھی ہوئی ہے، اس میں انٹیلیجنس انجن ایک بناتے ہیں، پیچھے کوئی انجن ہوتا ہے، اس میں ٹیمز اس کو انالائز کرتی ہیں ڈیٹا کو. تو یہ بالکل سیم اسی طرح ہے جس طرح ہمارا دماغ ہے. آپ اس کو انجن کہہ لیں، اس میں جتنا ڈیٹا ہم دیکھتے ہیں، کام کرتے ہیں، وہ اس میں ایڈ ہوتا رہتا ہے، تو ہماری انٹیلیجنس بڑھتی رہتی ہے. اور جتنا زیادہ ڈیٹا ہوگا، جتنا زیادہ ایکسپیرینس ہوگا، ہم اسے کہیں گے کہ یہ تو بہت زیادہ بندہ ایکسپیرینسڈ ہے. اسی طرح وہ انجن ہے، جتنا زیادہ اس میں ایکوریٹ ڈیٹا جائے گا، جتنا زیادہ اس میں وہ ایکوریٹ یہ ساری چیزیں جائیں گی، تو وہ اتنا انجن ایکسپرٹ ہوگا اور اتنا اس کی یہ انٹیلیجنس بہتر ہوگی. وہ بیسیکلی آرٹیفیشل دماغ ہو گیا نا ایک ہمارا. تو یہ آرٹیفیشل دماغ بعد میں کام کرتا ہے، جو آج کل کمپیوٹرز میں کام کرتے ہیں اور مختلف کام کر رہے ہیں. تو اس کو یوز کیا جا رہا ہے آج کل ہر ٹیکنالوجی میں، آپ دیکھیں پوری دنیا میں ہر چیز میں آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس آج کل آئی ہے. تو یہ میڈیکل تھوڑا میں نے اس میں ٹی بی میں کام کیا تھا، تو میں نے دیکھا تھا کہ ایک گلوبل فنڈ کا ایک پروجیکٹ تھا ٹی وی پہ. تو انہوں نے ریڈیولوجی میں انہوں نے کیا ہوا تھا کہ ایکس رے مشین گاڑی میں فٹ کی ہوئی تھی اور ساتھ کمپیوٹر تھا اور اس کا ساتھ سسٹم، وہ ایپ شیپ اس میں لگی ہوئی تھی. پیشنٹ کسی گاؤں میں چلے گئے، وہاں پہ پیشنٹس کو دیکھا جس کے سمٹمس ٹی بی کے ملتے ہیں، اس کو ڈاکٹر ساتھ چیک کر لیتے تھے اور اس کا ایکس رے کراتے تھے. ایکس رے اسی وقت مشین پہ جا کے اور اسی وقت ہی آرٹیفیشل انٹیلیجنس کا وہ ایپ اس میں ایڈ ہوا تھا سسٹم، اور وہ رپورٹ دے دیتا تھا کہ جی اس کی ٹی بی ہے یا نہیں ہے. کوئی انتظار نہیں کرنا پڑتا تھا، کوئی کچھ نہیں کرنا پڑتا تھا. تو یہ اس کا یہ فائدہ ہے. یہ ایک سمپل چھوٹی سی ایک مثال ہے. اور وہ جیسے ابھی انہوں نے بتایا نان صاحب نے کہ شوگر ہم ٹیسٹ کر رہے ہیں، اور شوگر اس کے اب ڈائبٹیز میں دیکھیں کتنی دفعہ چیک کرنا پڑتا ہے، سارا کچھ کرنا پڑتا ہے. اور اسی طرح بہت ساری بیماریاں اور ہیں، اور نان انویسو ٹیسٹ اگر اور آ جاتے ہیں اور تو پھر تو یہ کاسٹ افیکٹو بہت ہو جاتا ہے نا، کہ ایک آپ سمپل ایک طریقے سے بغیر کاسٹ، بغیر کسی کاسٹ کے آپ اس کو ٹیسٹ کر لیتے ہیں، جو آج کل ہمارے ٹیسٹ کرنے بہت ہی ایکسپینسو ہوئے ہیں. یہ ایسا ایسا چیزیں، سائبر نائف، پتہ نہیں کیا کیا کچھ آج کل دنیا میں آ چکا ہوا ہے. ریموٹ سرجری ہو رہی ہے، سارا کچھ ہو رہا ہے. تو میرا خیال ہے کہ یہ سب لوگ اب جانتے ہیں. آج کل تو ہمارے اسٹوڈنٹس ہم سے زیادہ چونکہ نیٹ کی وجہ سے، انفارمیشن کی وجہ سے بہت چیزیں جانتے ہیں. تو اس کو اب یہ فیوچر ہے اور اسی کو دیکھیں، اور آگے پھر ان ہمارے ماہرین کی مدد سے جو بھی آگے ہم اس کو اسٹارٹ اپ مل جا سکتے ہیں، کچھ آئیڈیاز کو وہ لے کے چلیں ہماری طرف سے، اور ان کی طرف سے بھی میں کہہ دیتا ہوں کہ ضرور ہیلپ کریں گے انشاءاللہ. اور یہ ہماری ملک کے لیے بھی اور ہمارے لوگوں کی ایک بہت بڑی خدمت ہوگی. میں پھر ایک دفعہ آخر میں شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں خاص طور پہ طاہر باجوہ صاحب کا، عدنان صاحب کا، آصف مقصود صاحب کا، وی سی صاحب کا، اور پوری ٹیم کا جو کمیونٹی اویئرنیس کی، راویلین کمیونٹی اویئرنیس پروگرام کی ٹیم ہے، ان سب کا خاص طور پہ، کہ وہ یہ اس فیلڈ میں انہوں نے اتنا کام کیا ہے اور اس کو آگے لے کے چل رہے ہیں اور اویئرنیس کریٹ کر رہے ہیں، اور وہ اس اتنی کوآرڈینیشن والا کام کر رہے ہیں. تو کوئی اگر سوال کوئی ہیں تو بتا دیں. Hello.
Ji sir, thank you so much sir for your valuable words and remarks. Ji Manur, continue kijiyega.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind remarks, and we extend our gratitude to all the speakers for enlightening us with your valuable experiences and thoughts. In the end, I would like to invite Dr. Asif Maqsood Bhatt, who is a gold medalist, founder, president, RCAP, director, ORIC, and RMU coordinator for Social Integration Initiative. Sir, kindly give some closing remarks for the program, and we will end the session then. Sir, you are not audible. Kindly unmute your mic.
Ji, Assalamualaikum everyone. First of all, I'm really thankful for all the speakers, and especially Dr. Adnan, Mr. Adnan, जो अभी इंशाल्लाह future में हम इनको honorary, I would like कि हम इनको आजाद दें as a doctor का भी, because he has so much deep knowledge about the healthcare services and other specialties. So and Dr. Tahir Sharif, earlier Tahir Nihar Bajwa, उन्होंने अपने real experiences जो है share किए, and for the last 3 days we are having this webinar. This is the last day. So मैं day first से लेके आज तक जितने भी हमारे जो speakers थे, I'm really thankful for them. सब अटेंडेंस हमारी थोड़ी सी बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं रही, बट सो फार जितने भी लोग इसको ज्वाइन किया, आई एम रियली थैंकफुल फॉर देम, एंड स्पेशली टू माय ऑल टीम. इस पर जो टीम लीड हैं, ईशा, महानूर, हफ्सा एंड रेस्ट, जिनका मैं शायद नाम अभी भूल गया हूँ, बट यह है कि सबको मैं बहुत ज़्यादा अप्रिशिएट करता हूँ. एक मेरे साथ सवाल किया गया कि ये आप एफर्ट्स क्यों कर रहे हैं, इनका क्या फ़ायदा क्या है, डॉक्टर्स कम्युनिटी को क्या फ़ायदा है, कोई रोल नहीं है इसके अंदर. सो लेट यू बी वेरी ब्रीफली मैं आपको बताऊं कि जो नेक्स्ट ईरा है, दैट इज़ द ईरा ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी, दैट इज़ द ईरा ऑफ द इनोवेशन, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. और आपकी लाइफ के अंदर भी अगर जो आपका बिजनेस मॉडल नहीं है, तो आप ज़्यादा ग्रो नहीं कर सकते. एक आपकी कंस्ट्रेंट जो है वो एरिया में आप रह जाते हैं. बट ऑलवेज बी इन इनोवेटिव. और इनोवेशन क्या है, इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो थोड़े से डरे थे. हमने रिनोवोकॉन 2022 में जब किया, उस टाइम पे भी काफ़ी जो हमारे प्रेसिडेंट्स थे और डायरेक्टर्स थे इनोवेशन के, उन्होंने बहुत हेल्प आउट किया, उनको सपोर्ट किया टू मेक सम न्यू प्रोजेक्ट्स. लेकिन स्टिल देयर वाज अ फियर, और मुझे ये चीज़ समझ नहीं आई कि ये फिर क्यों है, व्हाई दे आर नॉट स्टेपिंग इन. जैसे भी सर ताहिर भी कह रहे थे, सर अदनान ने भी मुझे काफ़ी अप्रोच किया, और मैं खुद भी इनको काफ़ी, इज माय इंस्पिरेशन. ऑल दीज आर द बिग पर्सनालिटीज. ये मेरी बहुत बड़ी इंस्पिरेशन है, मेरे मेंटोर भी हैं, एंड आई एम रियली ब्लेस्ड टू हैव देम, कनेक्टेड विद देम. और अल्लाह का बड़ा शुक्र मैं अदा करता हूँ. तो मुझे पूछते थे कि डॉक्टर आसिफ क्यों स्टूडेंट्स नहीं कर रहे इन इनोवेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स को. सो आई वाज आल्सो लाइक मेरे पास जॉब नहीं होता था कोई इस तरह के क्योंकि थोड़ी बहुत तो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं लाइक स्टडी के हवाले से, बट जैसे अभी सताही ने भी कहा है कि आप जस्ट फर्स्ट फ्लाइट लें। फर्स्ट फ्लाइट में जो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट है, रिस्क टेकिंग जो आपकी मैनेजमेंट है, आप उसको जब मलहूस हाथ रखेंगे, उसकी तरफ सोचेंगे, तो डेफिनेटली चीज़ें जो है उभरेंगी। और इसको फर्दर नियर फ्यूचर के लिए आप सिर्फ प्रोजेक्ट ना करें, ये देखें कि आपको इन लाइफ ये कितना बड़ा जो है ना वो टेकअप दे सकता है, और कितने बड़ी जो है ना माइलस्टोन्स आप अचीव कर सकते हैं। और जितने मेंटोर्स हमारे पास आए, हम उनके पास जा सकते हैं, उनको बुला सकते हैं। दे आर वेरी काइंड एंड वेरी सपोर्टिव। सो प्लीज थोड़े थोड़े स्टेप्स लें। और ये जो इनिशिएटिव था, ये इसी वजह से था कि हम बहुत सारे मेडिकल स्टूडेंट्स और रेजिडेंट्स, हाउस ऑफिसर्स, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, उनके माइंड में बहुत सारी जो थी वो क्वेरीज थी। ऑल्दो 100 प्लस जो है, आई थिंक 150 प्लस जो है वो हमारी रजिस्ट्रेशन थी, बट आई वाज वेरी एस्टोनिश्ड कि हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा तो अटेंडेंस नहीं। बट आई होप कि जब ये सोशल मीडिया पे और बाकी हमारे जो ग्रुप्स हैं उसमें शेयर होगा, तो डेफिनेटली द पीपल विल वॉच दिस सीरीज। और डेफिनेटली उनको ये जो सारी बातें हुई हैं इनोवेशन के हवाले से, डिजाइनिंग ऑफ इनोवेशन के हवाले से, इनोवेशन प्रोसेस के हवाले से, हाउ यू कैन गो फॉर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ योर आइडियाज, प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट कैसे करनी है, उसके डिफरेंट प्रोसेसेस कैसे हैं। सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वेबिनार। और इसमें मैं सिर्फ लास्ट यही कहना चाहूँगा कि दिस इज नॉट अ वेरी शॉर्ट जर्नी ऑफ इनोवेशन। इसमें आपको बड़ा ही सब्र तहम्मुल से काम लेना है, एंड कंटिन्यूटी के अंदर काम करना है। जैसे ड्रॉप बाय ड्रॉप आपने इसमें ऐड ऑन करते जाने चीज़ों को, और दैट्स हाउ यू गो। और कनेक्टेड रहें मेंटोर्स के साथ, और ऐसे लोगों से जाके आप बात करें, उनसे मशवरा करें। और मार्केट एनालिसिस का सबसे बेहतरीन है कि आप सर्वे करें। रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट इज द की फॉर इनोवेशन। और रिसर्च आपको गैप्स आइडेंटिफाई करके देती है, आप सर्विस करते हैं, उससे जो है वो आप गैप्स को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, एंड देन यू प्रोसीड फर्दर कि इसमें इस गैप्स के अंदर हम टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे जो है वो लिंक अप कर सकते हैं, हम प्रोसेसेस को कैसे लिंक अप कर सकते हैं, क्या ऐसा नया प्रोसेस हम डेवलप करें कि जिससे जो है इनोवेशन हो जाए। ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप टेक्नोलॉजी को ही जो है वो यूज़ करें और इनोवेशन होगी, आप कर सकते हैं। बट अगर आप कोई ऐसी चीज़ करते हैं, कोई ऐसा न्यू प्रोसेस करते हैं जिससे आपकी ज़िंदगी में आसानी हो जाती है, सो दैट्स इनोवेशन। सो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं। तो आप सबका बहुत शुक्रिया, आप सबने इस प्रोग्राम में शिरकत की, और तमाम स्पीकर्स का, स्पेशली वाइस चांसलर ऑफ मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी प्रोफेसर उमर, उन्होंने फर्स्ट डे पे हमें इंकरेज किया, वेलकम नोट किया। और ऑल द स्पीकर्स, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ऑल द थिंग्स। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
Thank you, Sir Asif. So here comes an end to this 4-day webinar series. We are very much looking forward to conducting such webinars in future as well. I thank you all for joining. I hope this webinar was really beneficial for you and have opened new doors for you in the field of innovation and entrepreneurship. So thank you again. Take care. Allah Hafiz.